Abydos, most of the people, when I say Abydos, most of the tour guides, even archaeologists, they think of this area only. This is, for them, is Abydos. But no, Abydos is a huge area, okay? So our target today, we are almost here now. So we're going to visit the Seti first temple, and the Osirion temple is under the ground, okay? Or no, this one is Osirion temple. Here we have two interesting tombs, but they are closed and they need like special week to do it. The two tombs under the mountain, the same like the Valley of the Kings, but here deeper, like 600 meters and deeper. So you see, they can see the complex. That is one complex for each tomb.
Are they joined together?
No, separate. But there is a significance of that mountain, very important. That's why the name Abydos, if you delete the S, Greek S, will be Abydu or Abju, means the mountain. So they try to tell us, focus on the mountain. The city is named the land of the mountain or the area of the mountain. So it's a clear message to do some maybe testing, scanning. The mountain is very important, either energy or sight or something. Big. Persian ant. So you see the tool mark?
What's that? Tool mark.
Yes, exactly. So when you ask Egyptologists what it is, they say from the machine.
Yeah.
Because that is modern ground.
Yeah.
But when you see the same mark on the ancient stone, they tell you it's a chisel.
Yeah. Maybe do it on the bus. I might ask you on the bus about some specific ones if that's okay.
Okay. And if you see it here, ask me.
Well, what it was just briefly, it was the last tomb we went into.
Yeah.
Down in the tomb on the left, up on the top there, there's symbols with people like sort of pointing down, and then there's a symbol in between each person, and then it turns into a snake, and the snake goes through.
No. Now you need to show me the picture on the bus, because this is the big scene.
Yeah.
So this temple is called Abydos Temple, which I explained earlier. That is not accurate name because we have many temples in this place. So we shall go with the name. The name of the king written here, this king is Seti I. Seti I, this is the second ruler of the 19th dynasty. Abydos was the pilgrimage place in Egypt. All the Egyptians were come to do pilgrimage here. The same like Jerusalem for Christians, for Hebrews, the same like Mecca. So this was very important place. And that's why we don't accept that they waited that long time. No old kingdom building, no middle kingdom building, only new kingdom building. That is weird. So we must have, or we must find older temples from old kingdom and middle kingdom. Right? You get my point? Yeah. But so the Egyptians will not wait that long time doing pilgrimage in nowhere. Okay. Also, this temple is unique to have 7 Holy of Holies. It must be just one at the middle of the place. Okay, like all the cases of the other temples. Okay, but here we have 7. We will talk about it. Number 7 is important number. Okay. Come this way. Look at me. Behind. Look that way and look to me. So the ceiling is original, the pillars, everything is original. Yes, we made it some restoration to the floor like this. Okay. That type of pillar we call it closed papyrus. Okay, I think it has a significance that they are sending us a message that here you come, enjoy the feeling, the energy, but there is no revealed knowledge. When we found opened flower, this is the place where they reveal the knowledge. So everything here will be mystical. As a commoner, you may don't understand, even ancient commoner, maybe junior priest also, they will not be able to understand all the coded languages. In Abydos, we have two important stories. The story of the Osirion, and we are going to see it, and the story of the helicopter. There is what we call it Abydos helicopter. Come here. All of you come this way, because we will see it up there. The story of the helicopter, can you see it up there above that bird shape? Okay?
Yeah.
And if you look next to it, this is something like a tank or a submarine. Underneath there is a UFO, and then like a small satellite, and then like a glider.
Wow.
Okay? So we have two opinions. The first opinion say that these are real pictures. It was made to look like this. Okay? The second opinion say no, these are two carvings overlapping above each other, and strange coincidence, when they put the two layers above each other, they created these shapes. I must admit that the second opinion is true, because I did the same myself. I brought the two layers of the writings and I put them above each other. They truly created the same figures. But I can say I now create the third group, that I think that the two layers were put together deliberately. Yes, the one who made them, he understood that this will be the result. That is not like mere coincidence. No, because we understand from ancient Egypt that everything is double, mirroring. We have a statue on the right side, a statue on the left side. Obelisk on the right side, obelisk on the left side. Scene on the right side, another scene on the left side. Everything must be mirroring. So this is just one carving, or this is the only case we have two overlapping carvings above each other. The other side, no. Any other section, no. So it happened one time only, which is weird. Like, why? If someone was added, because they say the first layer belonged to Seti first, and the second layer to his son Ramses when he became a king, and he wanted to add his touch, his titles, his name. So he add his touch on just one corner. That it doesn't make any sense. It must be the other side. Okay. Let's go inside. معبد لا مكان للعبادة مكان للعبادة صح. No, that is not the magical word. Yes, that is the magical word. Okay, my friends. Now it's a magical moment. Let's walk slowly. جايين من بعيد. صح سلام. Be careful, be careful. Be careful, don't get so close. خلي بالك من الراجل ده. اصل بيقرب بتاعي وايه؟ من تحت الارض. فين بقية الناس؟
لسه جوه. انا بعت احمد خلف يجيب المفتاح عشان تخش من تحت. ماشي؟ رايح فين ده؟
ده مش تبعنا. Okay. All the other tours, when they come to this place, they come to this spot, and they take some photos and then leave. But because we are what diplomatic tour, we're gonna have private access, and we will go down there.
Yeah.
welcome.
I forget to, this is Mahmoud.
Hello.
Mahmoud, one of the officials and Egyptologists here in the
Nice
site.
to meet you, everybody.
My dear friend.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know Mahmoud for a long time
Muhammad, he is my big brother, yeah.
now. So he is the one this is the magical word. He's the one who got the key. Where is the key?
yeah.
And I will show you. Okay. Now this one will be like 1500, like maximum 1700, because this was made in the oven. Very interesting combination. Abydos we can call it Middle Egypt. So they have rose granite from far south, Aswan. This is Cairo. So far south Aswan, almost 400 kilometers. And quartzite from Cairo, 400 kilometers. Like why they didn't bring just one kind? Why send the group there and another group there? Okay, because they can, and it was very easy. Yes. So these texts are talking about the journey to the Duat land. The word Duat can be explained as the land or the dimension of the stars. Some people explain it as the afterlife. Okay. And most of the things we see in the Duat land, people with stars above their heads, snakes, okay, some kind of beings like this. And to be honest with you, we don't have good interpretation to these things. Okay, these things are hiding very deep philosophy. But from time to time, we manage to discover some meanings when we do great comparison between many tombs and many carvings. So we know for sure now that this design is what we call it gate. So that is the gate, okay? Like that bar gate, they call it the fan gate, you know, the wooden gate with two. Do you have a specific name for that kind of door? You know that door when you go, that's the old bar? Yes, exactly. That is the same type of door, okay, or gate. We see something here. We see a cobra here and red dots. And then there was a cobra here but destroyed and the same dots. What is that? This is not real cobra, this is not poison. We talk about the energy required to open that gate. So it is not just a gate to through, no, it must be opened. Because this is not from physical place to another physical place, no. It is between physical places and unphysical or matter and unmatter places. So it needs kind of energy to open that dimension or to open that portal. Okay, and then this is the wavy snake here. It is not about energy now, but it's about transmission. Red, green. I think I was told, because like these are too much things to study. So I need to have like 100, maybe at least 100 Muhammads. Someone who studied geology, someone who studied mathematics and studied, okay. So I was told by some people that each color represents some of your nature. Like red is heart, blue or green is, I think, the physical body. Okay, so they try to say that you go to the afterlife, you go with your heart, not your mind. That's why in mummification, they cared much about the heart, not the mind. Sometimes they take the brain out. They leave it, they don't put it back. But the brain, the heart must join the mummy either inside the body or outside the body. Okay, so there is wavy, I think cobra also, connecting between these figures. Okay, I see it also as connection between the heart and the body, because your body is listening to your heart. Okay, which way I will explain it later in a good lecture. We need like long time because it has two heavy details to explain to you what is the difference between the soul and the spirit. My last time explaining this, it took me 5 hours. So I hope to make it less this time. Okay? This is the, I think, name for each person. So this is called G. This is Nu. This is Seti. Okay, so each one or each entity has a name or a description. Another gate. Like why we have another gate? Because the ancient Egyptians believed that the journey, so this, imagine this tunnel is through. Okay, this tunnel and that door is the first life. Okay, what I'm saying, that is the ancient Egyptian belief. So that door outside is first life. The other door, second life. So we are not in the second life yet. No, we're still in that connection in between. How long? 12 hours of dark. So sunset, sunrise, 12 hours, 12 gates. So between each two gates, that is 1 hour. So when we study, when I say the fourth gate, I'm talking about this. When I say the fourth hour, I'm talking about, so between two gates, 1 hour, and we have 24 gates, 12 gates, 12 hours. Those are the hours of the dark cycle of the sun, half of the cycle of the sun.
Muhammad,
Yes.
those times, the hours,
Yes.
are these holes now made?
No, modern.
Modern. Okay,
Yes,
because
restoration.
I saw there is one.
It was
there.
closed and the stars decorated with stars, so it was completely closed. I was saying something, but I forgot.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
You were
Yes,
talking about the
yes. That journey to the other side, the ancient Egyptian, maybe they were afraid from that journey, and they thought maybe there are kind of dangers will attack the soul. So they created magical spells like protection, and they put it here so the soul can read it and remember. So they teach them, but they also put as a second reference or as a second chance to read it and to protect itself.
Red with heart. What does it mean when they're in black? Just because
That was the one I was going to ask about this thing, sorry. Different question.
The black color sometimes is look, it is, everything has a meaning. Look, this is very strange now, and I was talking with Arthur that when we talk about these spirals, yes. Arthur told me something interesting. He told me, look at this in 3D shape. So I want you now to see it in 3D, not 2D, and make it move.
When it moves, it
Yes,
creates
exactly.
time and space, and without time and space, we're nothing.
See where we are going now? Leads to what? Leads to a star. So we can call this another Stargate. Okay? This one leads to a head. So high consciousness. So as if you are going to higher dimensions. Star. So these are different combinations. And they are all connected. So as if you do this only, you will be connected to all of them. If you do that only, you will be connected to all of them. Thank you, Arthur, for that information. Because I used to call it only the spiral of time. Like each circle is like a big cycle of civilization.
Also, link on Tucker's site that explains how this novel medicine man
Okay.
explained that for me.
Very good. That's why, please, any one of you has an idea or hear me saying something and like resonates with you, remind me of something, tell me. Don't be cheap. Now we see that they changed it. Instead of just paintings, it became carvings. And we see the lower level here, people with holding oars. So remember, we call it spaceship. So those are the pilots, the astronomers or astronauts. Okay, those are stars. But the interesting thing, they are females. And I think maybe the other side were males. And in other tombs I saw males and females. So as if they try to say that the energy and the pulsing from the star can come as a feminine energy or masculine energy, both. Some of these figures we don't know exactly how to explain, but I see that each entity is sending waves from the brain. Your brain plays like great radio, can send and receive, okay, transmitter. This person here, in my opinion, this is Orion, and holding the star pointing to Sirius star. And Orion in ancient Egypt is Osiris. Orion is, and Sirius star is Isis, his wife. So many people will think this is the sun. No, this is the face of a boat, solar boat, and this is the cobra with the tail. We know the Ouroboros eating the tail. No, this is not eating this is different. Okay, as if they try to say that this is not infinity. Yes, it is very long journey, maybe millions of years, but not infinity. The other one eating the tail, that is infinity, non-stop, no end. But this must have an end.
Is this an egg?
This is a baboon. Yes.
Oh, wow. And that. So what is the eye on top of something?
Well, I'm not very sure, but here this eye, when they represent an eye or a nose or ear, you expect the function of the eye is to see, ear to hear. But here the eye is, we call it or it is verb to do. Okay, and we learn from the ancient Egyptian philosophy that they judge the eye as a person or as a like a separate mind can do things. Okay, so we have it later as a verb to see, but mainly we call it or ar. It's verb to do. So you can do something with your eye. I'll tell you something maybe stupid a little bit, but it's true. If two men are like on the street or in a place and there is a beautiful lady crossing by, they will look to her like watching her body. She will like fall maybe or right. Okay, that is, they did action with their eyes. Okay.
I'm gonna put this as a makeup on my face in the box. Are you seeing with the eye painted?
Okay.
Oh, here is Stargate, right?
Yeah, this is now Star House.
Oh, Star House?
Yes, this is the word Bir, house, so the house of the star. Okay.
So that's the difference.
Yes, which is still related.
They believe that the sun was in the middle of the universe or Earth.
No, the Egyptian believed that the sun is a small star and compare with many stars. Yes.
So they were.
No, they had great knowledge about the stars and the other constellations.
They knew that the Earth was going around.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, here we have two interesting things. Of course, the gate, okay, the last gate, and we can see a cobra at the top, cobra at the bottom. That cobra, according to the symbol, it is below the head, but supposed to be above the head. This is Isis. And this is her twin sister, Nephthys. Okay, Isis and Nephthys. They are part of that story. And here we can see Khibr, scarab, Scarab is what?
Circle.
New beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah.
Ah, I have, see, I
New beginning. My bad.
give me that. So he is about to have new beginning. But that new beginning is not going to be new beginning like a newborn baby and then learn how to walk, how to... No. It will be perfect atom, will be perfect life. So yes, new beginning, but not from zero again. No, new beginning from the top, from atom. This is the symbol atom or tem or tamam. So tamam, and they still use that word in Turkey, means perfect, done. Okay. Person is about to rise, the scarab and the sun, and then they come to the light. That's why what we call it Book of the Dead, that is not correct name for the Egyptian 3 books. That is a German title. They call it Book of the Dead. No, there is nothing called Book of the Dead. There are three books. The first book, Book of the Duat, Book of the Hours, and Book of the people who come forth to the light, or to the to the light, or to the sunrise. The effect when limestone absorbed too much water, it become like dry sponge. So it will be in a very bad condition. But water cannot affect granite in any level, or even sun or wind or anything. So this gate is not granite anymore. This gate is quartzite. Look to the big blocks, and look how they have a huge block up and huge block down, and this little extra block there.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like they made a mistake and they tried to fix it? No, this is one of the designs also. Original design. I want you to be careful. Okay, one by one. One by one. يا محمود هي بتسأل very deep ولا مش very deep؟ It used, now it is 2 meters deep, but it used to be 15 meters.
Oh, really? It's the same facility.
Yes. And maybe all deeper than 15 meters.
Are there more, like, not that we're going to go there, obviously, but are there more tunnels and stuff underneath the
Why
water?
you say we will not go there?
I didn't
We
bring
will.
you bathing suit.
We will do anything available. Okay, come this way and be careful. This is the underground water.
They tried to go ashore and start going and clean it out to see what's going on in the
By the way, this is now considered very dry. It's supposed to be this level. My hand, yes. See the mark? Yes, high level.
Got to investigate on this one. Search around and
We are working with this.
but hasn't been
Yes, yeah. Okay, here we must talk about the flower of life. The flower of life here. Reserve a good spot. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Thank you.
Come on.
Not to fall in.
The flower of life. And unfortunately, the people who don't get that private permission, they don't see it at all because they come from the other side. And a long time ago, they used to come from that level, so they see only 2. Okay? But the fact that we have also many here in that level.
Oh my goodness.
And then we have on the other side, so we have here like 15 flowers of life. Difficult? No, easy.
No, with the compass.
No, easy with a compass. No, by the way, not easy. Look, it is not easy at all.
Move it very, very, very tiny.
Exactly. It will do exactly. That's why, and I tried to do it myself. to reach perfect one after 8 months and do it like 1,000 times. So my hand must get used to the angles. Because as Elena said, just the one mistake in any of the circles, that's it. It is not going to fit.
Did you do it?
Okay? I did it after 8 months, but with the help of Campus.
You need time to practice.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Took me 8 months. Also, this is Arthur maybe didn't tell me this, but I learned it from Arthur that you can look at this as 3D, not 2D. So where is Willie? Willie! Will, come on! Yes, can I have it? Oh, no, okay, not Mrs. Come here. Willie? Yes, I'm here. So imagine this one, if we make it like a ball, okay? And that ball will be the motion and the relationships of everything in the universe, okay? So if I am in that point, okay, I can come to this point from inside. From outside it will take a long journey, but from inside, shortcut. And see it as a ball also, but see it as not hollow ball. So all the cross points are inside, so you can just one movement from this location to that location, which looks like very far, but it doesn't work like this, okay? And we can also use Arthur explanation like the time circles, not only 3D, but also moving.
Oh.
And like bump, how do you call it? Bump in, bump out. So that's why so many strange things happening in the universe, in my opinion, because sometimes we have like 2 points, okay? They are far, but when they move, so they come like close, and then they move far, like so, something like this. So as if the universe is alive, and this is the evidence, okay? But we don't understand that much because we keep seeing this as 2D only. Thank you much. Okay? But
You need to see it in 2D. That's the third dimension that we live in, and 3D, and then in motion. And then
Exactly.
you see the entire, everything that is, was, and will be is all there.
right. And maybe not 3D, maybe 4D, 5D.
Many dimensions.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So we have 2 questions now. Okay. If this was made by a fissure, like just painting, or etched first, and then they colored this little carving. For many years, I heard many people saying etched, and then I said no, painted. But I had the chance to go very close, and I took very high quality picture. So yes, it is etched, slightly etched, with like a thin tool first, and then which is add like another problem to the story. So who did this with a pencil? I took 8 months to draw it. So what about carving? Okay, so it is very difficult to explain. So we have now, to explain this in a good way, we have 1 circle is me, 2 circles, both of us, 3 circles, all of us. Okay, so 3 circles are what we call it, 3 overlapping circles. We call it the seed of life. Call it what? Seed of life. So any section we take, it will be the seed of life. Okay, and then the seed of life, we put many seeds of life, will create flower of life. That's it. This is not the end. So we have also tree of life. Tree of life can be called as Arthur said, can be the universe, as physical body, can be time, can be the past, the future, relationship, everything. So the tree of life is everything in not only human life, but the universe or the multiverse life. Okay.
بس الحمد لله على كل حال والله.
والله الحمد لله، الله يسلمك. عامل وحشنا والله، بقالي كتير ما شفتك.
والله انا سالت عليك كتير والله ربنا اعلم، بس يعني ما صدفتش انت.
ما لناش حظ.
المشاكل الله يعينك.
الله يخليك. صح؟ الله يخليك. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to Dandara, and in Dandara we always explain that famous scene, the sky goddess in a very long body creating the shape of the atmosphere or the sky. But I was surprised when they opened that place because, by the way, and we must appreciate what was done by our fellow Egyptologists here, and we have two of them here. They were responsible. Hawari. بصوا هنا. So they've done great work here in the place. They moved out tons of mud. How many tons?
We talk about maybe
5-6 tons of mud from the area. And I was here in February, I think, and that the ground was like very muddy and up and down, so they fixed the ground, so they did a great job. You couldn't stand 10 minutes here because the smell was very bad. But I missed the bats. What? What happened to the bats? But they love to stay. So if you look here, this is the feet of Nut, and that's at the ankle, the leg, the hip, and this is the body, all the way to here. This is the head, and these are the hand. Okay? So this level underneath supposed to be earth. Okay? Supposed to be Geb. So we have Nut, the sky, Geb, earth. And this man in the middle, their father, Shu, air. The one air is holding the sky up. Okay? And the same scene on the other side. So we see also Nut, the head, and the body, and the legs and the feet are there. Okay? So how many skies we have? 7. Just one. By the way, in science, they admit with one. They don't admit with any other sky. But in kind of deep science or smart science, they admit with layers of the sky. Like William said, we have our sky, and they have the galaxy sky, and they have the group of galaxies sky. So every time you go deep in space, this is we call it the sky. Because what is the difference? Each sky have different energies, different vibrations. So when you send like waves, it goes faster some places, slower some places, because according to the fabric and the type of the energies in different skies. So the ancient Egyptian managed to figure this, and they talk about 7 skies. And by the way, talk about also 7 earths, 7 layers of earth to get to the melted core of earth. Okay? So this sky have stars and dots, like small circles, okay? But writings. But this one has only stars. Okay? So that one only what? Stars. So my guessing that this is our sky. And this is an extra sky. You see something interesting, like she is about to swallow the sun disk. Okay? Here, the mouse, look near the mouse. You see? Here and here. Okay? Here the sun disk with a wing, here the sun disk without a wing. Okay? And then the sun will go inside the body and go all the way to the womb, and she will give birth to the sun the next day, sunrise. That is the journey of the 12 hours. So this is the kind of a metaphor to talk about that journey. Hidden sun, it will be hidden inside the body. Also, we see like something like the cobra of time, but instead of circles, we can see like a strange design with a ram with solar disk and the king and Ma'at on the other side here. So as if these are the circles of time, the sun journey, which must happen in certain system. You know, if the sun get close to Earth 1 centimeter, Earth will burn. Or get further 1 centimeter, we will freeze. Okay? So everything was designed by Seshat in a perfect scale, perfect system, which is continuous system. So it was not for one time, it was forever. how much oxygen we have. That's supposed to be permanent. How much nitrogen. Also the same, if we have more oxygen, Earth will be like match, okay, will burn. How much carbon. So this is Seshat, cosmic designer. Okay. Cross? No, cross is okay. Yes. We have here one symbol was never repeated in any other site in Egypt. Like the cobra, millions of places. They check the hand, even that the face, human head with a bird body, the vulture, the star, all of these were represented almost everywhere. There is one unique symbol was never repeated. Where? Where? That one? Where is the submarine? No submarine here. The submarine. استنى رايحة فين؟
طيب بس كده
أيوة. Okay. The Birdman.
The Birdman.
No.
No. There.
Look, this is an idea of mixing the head, the consciousness with the body of the bird. Sometimes we see a man with two wings, but no arms. That is symbols mixed together. But this man, we see that the full man doesn't miss anything, arms, legs, everything, with two extra wings and tail. So the story of the word. So they try to read the text to maybe you understand something more. Actually, the text is adding more mystery because this is bish, says bish means to stretch out. That's it. This is the stretch out what or doing what. So this is very interesting symbol. And if you go anywhere, all the temples in Egypt and outside Egypt, you don't see any other example for this one. We call it the Birdman, but not the evil Birdman in the American movies. No.
What is he standing on?
The plastic basket?
What is standing on?
Looks like a basket.
Under his feet.
This is the basket. This belongs to the other word. Cool.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. He's the first one who started to think about flying. So maybe that was an old attempt to fly, or it was a way to tell us that human can fly.
So it's not anywhere on here.
Exactly. That is the only spot.
الشعير بتاع مصر بيهز معايا
ده قمح.
قمح
جميل.
محليه دي
جميل.
كانت حاجه يعني
Be accused to be Moses Pharaoh. Maybe the Hebrew books chose Ramses II because he was a mighty ruler. No. Ramses II is the one who accused himself to be Moses Pharaoh. Because they wrote some stories about the good king, Ramses II, the story, and the evil magician. They meant Moses. But they made reproduction to the story. And this is Ramses II holding a staff with the head of a cobra, the snake, the same staff of Moses. So as if he accused himself wrongly to become Moses Pharaoh. But he's not. He's just some silly advisors told him to do so to be popular in Egypt. Okay. So because of that, he was accused to be Moses Pharaoh. So remember my lecture about how old the civilization of Egypt is. This is Abydos list, Abydos king list. Okay? Come this way. This is one of 5 king lists we have in Egypt. List of the Egyptian rulers. The longest one, we have 76 names. The lower part, all city first. So nothing new here. Okay? But the 2 registers starts with a king called Mina. We don't know who is Mina because the oldest object we found for a king called Narmer. Remember Narmer Palette? But we recognize the 2nd, the 3rd, most of these kings. Okay? Then we have famous names like Senefru, like Khofu, like Jedefra, elder son, Khafra, Minkaura, and then Sahura. And we have some famous name here like Tutmosis III, like Amunhotep III. Okay? But we have some questions here. The first question is a king. The first question, like when we come to, if this list is complete, no, of course, because we talk from dynasty 1 to dynasty 19, only 76 rulers, that is impossible. There would be like 7,000 rulers. But how we know? When we come to that name, Neb Ma'atra, this is Amunhotep III. Who came after Amunhotep III? Akhenaten. His name is not here. Who came after Akhenaten? The elder brother of Tutankhamun called Semenech-Kara. His name is not mentioned here. After Semenech-Kara, Tutankhamun. His name is not mentioned here. And then his name is not mentioned here. So they escaped 4 names. And also Hatshepsut is not mentioned here. So as if they were choosing certain names. So that is very clear idea that this list is not complete. So who they are choosing? Some people said great rulers, great male rulers. But we have a name here, unknown king in our history. We don't know who is he. Nefer-Kara-Tiru, or I call it Terel. This one has no record, no side, no. His name was mentioned. This name, no jar, no cartouche, no tomb, nothing. So if that name was great ruler, as they claim, he won't be mentioned here, or we would find something. So as if this is another political situation, political belief. So they didn't choose certain names and they chose other names. Last thing before we go, for many years we kept thinking that major temples or most of the temples for the male priest only, because that is what we used to see. All the high priests and the titles of high priests only for males. Few temples, maybe 1 or 2 for Isis and for Hathor, they had male high priest and female high priestess, because that is a male energy, Hathor, Isis. But it seemed that we are wrong, that every temple had a male group of priests and female group. How we know? Because we found so many writings, especially like the exit of that door. On the left side, the male titles of the priest, and then the same titles they add letter T. So we know that this is for female priestess. Okay, this way. The old movie Ramesses II, Yul Brynner, when he made that bald head and the look of hair because of that scene. So that is young Ramesses II, or Brenston. Yeah, this is killing the bull. This is as if the end of the age of Taurus. Even without colors, still very beautiful. Yes. We see the king in front of many netters. This is the last time to repeat that. Netter, wrongly explained as God, but it is not God. It is force of nature, power of nature, item of nature. Netter, I will not say God Horus, I will say Netter Horus. So they show the king in front of many netters, okay, giving them something. Giving them what? They call it offerings. Okay? I understand that to visit a place in old days, to bring offering, but not for the god, for the priest. So, but how come they give offering to the netter? That is strange a little bit, okay? Because we know eventually that who will eat or use these offerings is the priest, okay? But let's skip that. Let's look to the type of offerings. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like he is offering incense. He's offering lotus flower. Like what kind of offering? This is like cheap king. He's offering here a bunch of lotus and papyrus. Okay? There he is offering what we call it white cake. The white cake, we will talk about it. This is the monatomic gold or the white gold. This is something was very important in ancient Egypt, like that cone shape. We call it the white cake here. Hajj Jait. So my own story that this is not offering. No, this is something important for the king. He is bringing this precious thing or the thing he's going to use to put it in the catalyst. So this is not the knitter. This is the catalyst of the knitter. This is the place of the power of the knitter. And that will be energized with this energy and then take it back to use it. Something in a very simple example like the microwave. You put the raw food and you take it ready to eat. But of course that is different. But so they put that powder. If he eat that powder, immediately it will now be zero effect. But put the powder in the catalyst and take the powder back, eat it, then will be the top. Lotus, smell the lotus, maybe a little bit feeling, but put the lotus there, enhance, like enhancing, modifications, okay, upgrading, updating. So this is the catalyst. And in other rooms, we will see that they put the knitter in what we call it shrine, to make sure we understand that it is a catalyst or like an oven. Okay. By the way, you will see this face. I ask you, who is he? Immediately you will say, who's he?
Horus.
Horus, right? Very clear. But no, this is not Horus. How we know? Because of the writings. The writings say Sokar. No, this one now is Horus. Look, he's that pillar of writings. You can see a falcon under the snake. Can you see it? It says Horus, but this one here, it says Sokar. Sokar, that is the knitter of Saqqara, my home. So this is my grandfather. Okay, Sokar. Holy of Holies. It's supposed to be one. The whole temple dedicated to one knitter. And one Holy of Holies for that knitter. But sometimes we have side chambers for other knitters. But inside locations. But this one, the 7 rooms are in the same alignment. But they still have kind of special section to Osiris, the Lord of the entire area. So that's why we have his room is the biggest room. So all the knitters are representing Osir in a different shape, different dress, different headdress. When I was saying the catalyst, when you see something like this, it doesn't look like catalyst. But when you see something like this, see this design, what we call it shrine, and look where is the hand of the king? Inside. Okay? Look to this one up there. The king is opening, he's holding the door hand and opening the door. The same like that one at the back. The king is putting his hand, the left side, his hand inside the catalyst. He is opening the catalyst, okay? Who will visit this place? The high priest, and sometimes they bring the king for fun. Like they show the king like, come my king, I will give you a special tour, private permission. But the king cannot go without protection. This is the neat necklace. He must put on this necklace to protect his body from this excessive energy. Because when we talk about these sites and the Osirion, we are talking about place like nuclear factories. So lots of radiation, lots of harmful energy because you are inside. But outside you receive good energy like we receive from the nuclear factories, we receive electricity. So that is not bad, but we take it far away with cables and things. But if you go inside the engine, that is wrong. So they must go with this protection. So who is Osir? Osir is the Lord of the afterlife, yes. Osir is an extraterrestrial power, because that's why it is blue, yes. So any blue color means extraterrestrial, okay. Osir sometimes is black color because it is the mud of Egypt. Osiris sometimes is green because he is the fertility, the green life of Egypt. This way. In Egypt, and I think Ruqayya and Mo and Mahasin will be interested with this information, that the word white in Egypt, that the word white is Hajj. White in ancient Egyptian language is Hajj. And Hajj in Arabic language means pilgrimage. And the Muslim do pilgrimage in white cloth. See how getting close to each other? So Hajj in Islam, it is not good or not right with any other color. It must be white color for men. We have very famous symbol in ancient Egypt. We call it Jed pillar. This is the symbol. The Jed pillar, we can call it the backbone of Osiris, and the front four ribs, the spine, the place which has all the DNA, all the power of the human skeleton. Okay. Other people tell me, Muhammad, did that look like a Tesla power plant? Yes. And in our way back to Luxor, I want you to realize the electric towers. It must have four things. Okay. The one tower was four, I don't know what to call it. Okay, yes. So what is the story? Set killed Osiris. So Osiris became a mummy. So his body was a horizontal line with the ground. Okay, and then Osiris was had received the chance by the help of his wife Isis to come back to life again. Okay, so here we have. So that happened in three levels. The first picture must be Jed on the ground. The second picture, Jed is rising. And the third, Jed is already raised. Okay? They didn't want to represent number one because they don't want to repeat that time when he was dead. So they started from two. So this is the Jed pillar is about to rise. And this is the pillar already raised. This is the Christmas day of Egypt, the 23rd of July. Okay? So 23rd of July, the priest will go outside to the pilgrims and claim and say that Osir is back. Okay? What I'm going to say is my own belief and many beliefs, but maybe it is not scientific 100%. It is like 95, 97%. That the angle here is 23.5. Did that remind you of something? With the axis of our planet. Our planet is exactly this shape. It is not perfect. 23.5. Okay? And I made so many Photoshop things and put the picture, it matches exactly. But because it is not perfect angle, so I'm saying that is not pure scientific detail. Okay? But I agree with this story. Like our planet one day was straight axis and then goes shift left and then back and then shift right. So that is also one of the effects of what we call it the cycles of life. Like but that happened after 4 cycles of light, and then the transition from light to dark, cycle number 5, that happens. But it doesn't happen with the transition between light to light to light, no. Because light to light, that is nice, okay. But imagine yourself in light and suddenly black out. You get freaked out and you would feel frightened. So that is the time of the big disaster, okay. Like when I say we were before 2012, it was the last age of darkness. And then when we moved to Kibber cycle, it was like coronavirus, something light, but not volcanoes, not solar flare, not flood, okay? Because we move from darkness to light, which is good for us, okay? Last thing, and then we go for lunch. We see also here the title Stargate. This word SB Sab or Sabah or Saba, but not saboteurs. And by the way, this is the exact logo. This is my logo. So here is the how we read the word. This is the symbol. So with this we call it a star. Without this we call it also star. How, like my ID. It has my picture, my name. If I hide the picture, still Muhammad. If I hide the name, still Muhammad. So this is the name. This is the picture. Saba and gate, Ruti. Okay, but we read it all as Saba. How to explain this? Like how like can I say this is the food of the star? This is like a star car. This is like a star. This is star what? Stargate. We cannot like pretend or do anything else. It is star next to a gate. Stargate, the same one here. So as if this is the Stargate. And also the same story and the same. So these three shrines, they have the titles. So as if you go inside, you are not here in this dimension. You move to another location. And they represent lotus flower everywhere, because lotus is one of the main reasons for high consciousness. So they do in South America ayahuasca, in ancient Egypt they do lotus huasca.